In this video, we're going to look at the X and Y intercepts, which is where a line crosses either the X or Y axis. So that word intersect just means cross, and the intercept is a very specific intersection where our line crosses the X axis or the Y axis. Because the X and Y axes are located in the center of one another, the y-intercept is always going to correspond with the x equals 0, and the x-intercept is always going to correspond with the y equals 0. So it's kind of like the opposite. For the x-intercept, my y-coordinate equals 0, and for the y-intercept, my x-coordinate equals 0. So that's how we're going to find them. It's pretty easy if we look at a graph. We literally just visually look. So your x-intercept, we need to look on this x-axis, and we see right here at -4. So we could say -4. If we did want to give this as an ordered pair, we would have to make sure that we understand that my x-intercept is -4. So the x-coordinate has to be -4, and the opposite is always a 0. Okay? Very similar for the y-intercept. Here it's at -3. Or if we wanted to write the ordered pair, again, we go x then y. Since it's my y-intercept, the y is -3, and the opposite coordinate is always a 0, because here this lines up in the center of the x-axis, which is at 0. So now we can find this algebraically without using the graph. And so it's actually fairly easy. We're going to take this equation, and we're going to make a table. So if we were to make our big table, and you can do them separately or you can do them all together in a table, but we have 3x minus 2y equals 12. So what we're going to do is first we're going to find the x-intercept. Well, if this is what I'm finding, then the 0 goes in for the y value. And we really haven't looked into this yet, but if the 0 is in the column for y, then we're going to plug it right in here for y. So we're going to have 3x minus 2 times 0 equals 12. And all we did was copy this equation, but replace that y with a 0. And that's going to allow us to find that x-coordinate. So here then, when we evaluate this, this is always going to go away, especially if it's written in standard form. But here, since we have a number times 0, it goes away. And we're left with 3x equals 12. If we were to then isolate this x, because remember, that's what we're looking for, we're going to divide both sides by 3, and we get that x equals 4. So the x-coordinate here is just 4. And since this is my x value, this is my x-intercept. Okay, and then finally, now we're going to find the y-intercept, so that's us doing this problem now. Now we're going to plug in 0 for x so that we can find the y value. So again, I'm going to take the same equation up here, but now I'm replacing the x with a 0. And again, these are really nice when they're written in standard form, because you're always going to have something here that's going to equal 0. So we really don't even need that. And now, since we're looking for y, we're just going to isolate this y. So we're going to divide by 2. And we get that y equals -6. So my y-intercept here is -6. Okay? And again, since this is the y-coordinate, this is my y-intercept because it's paired over here with x equals 0. And the question just said to find them, and we found them. Okay, now they want us to find them and then graph it. So we're going to do exactly the same thing. I'm actually maybe going to use this line as part of my table. So we have another equation written in standard form. That's very nice. And again, if I want to find the x-intercept first, since this is what I'm looking for, my 0 goes in the opposite variable. And so here now, since this is in the y column, I'm going to replace the y with a 0. So 2x minus 4 times 0 equals 8. Hopefully we know here that -4 times 0 makes 0. So I'm left with 2x equals 8. And all I have left to isolate is just that x. So I'm going to divide by 2. And I get that x equals 4. So that is my x-intercept. So go ahead and pause the video and try to find the y-intercept, and then I'll put the answer up for you to double check your work. And hopefully this is what you got. And now the question then wants us to graph this. So to fill in the blanks, my x-intercept is 4, or 4, 0, if we write the full ordered pair. Again, we know this one's the x-intercept because the y-coordinate is a 0, and this is an x value. Okay, my y-intercept is -2, or if we wrote that as an ordered pair, it would be 0, -2. Again, make sure if it's my y-intercept that y-coordinate is a -2. And now we're just going to put that y-intercept on the y-axis, and we're going to put the x-intercept on the x-axis, and we're going to draw the line. And that's it.